Our HotSpots magazine will be celebrating 38 years through this year. It has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the spirit of our HotSpots Queer Entertainment this week, sponsored by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters, and apparently it's growing at 25% over the last 29 years. When it comes to Broward Center, size does matter. And the Broward Center for Performing Arts is the destination of choice for our LGBTQ plus South Florida community for their spectacular entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the entire world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. Broward Center is the home for LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway, national drag performances, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and really all over South Florida. They support our community and that support of the LGBTQ community and our nonprofits. Their support is unlike any theater in South Florida. We are excited to tell you about the upcoming rich programming that they have for 2023 at the Broward Center for Performing Arts, and that they are going to be bringing to our LGBTQ plus community. And did you know, by the way, surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts. And that's why they are the sponsors of HotSpots Queer Entertainment this week. Here we go. Interesting. The Rotting in the Sun movie stars Sebastian Silva and Jordan Firstman, who are playing characterized versions of themselves in the movie. They talked to Variety this week about appearing at this year's Sundance Film Festival, where the movie premiered. They did not miss talking about a few non-simulated sex scenes in the movie. Jordan Firstman described his performance in the film saying, quote, "I have cocks down, down, down my throat," end quote. Though while talking to The Hollywood Reporter, they say that the cocks are not the most important part of the film. It is now hard to imagine anything else after what Firstman said about all of the cocks in the movie as he was talking to Variety. Write the jokes yourself. The scenes are reportedly real. Our HotSpots Queer Entertainment headline of the week: Sundance Film Festival Jordan Firstman talking about oral sex scenes. Quote, "I had cocks down my throat."
Repeat that?
I think you did. I think you said it enough. That's the only way to clean this up. You're like, I had cocks down my throat. Sundance.
I had to add the credibility of the Sundance film.
You're right.
But America could only see face when that blurred cock came on screen. It was like, America, if I could only give you behind the scenes.
Because it was not down. It was down, down, down.
Exactly.
Then it was 3 down.
Wait, what is that? Oh, Broward Center's on the phone.
Oh my God, I love Broward.
We love Broward
The
Center.
length of that blur just proved the research that happened.
Yeah, 25% increase. Yeah. What, I'm curious what y'all think about the realness of the sex scene. It's not porn. It's not porn.
It's called
Explain
novel.
to me what down, down, down means. So down is here, and then down is here, and then
Yes.
down, down, down is here. Like
Apparently, one of the things that I read, wait, to your point, yes.
down.
They decided that when they did this, they had a casting call, and they were looking for overly endowed actors to play this role where they were really going to simulate this, and not simulate, because that's the wrong word, oral sex. And Firstman talks about they tried to hire an actor that was 12 inches. That's what they wanted, and they couldn't find one.
Well, some of the adventures were in phase 4 drawer.
But that wasn't the challenge. The older movies did do unsimulated sex scenes. All the Fellini movies had unsimulated sex scenes.
No
so
way.
it's a little
I don't know
after
about this.
HR. Yeah. Caligula with Helen Mirren. That was unsimulated sex scenes.
What does that mean,
Wait.
unstimulated?
It means that actual sex.
Like real sex.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
why the hell don't you just freaking say
Because
they're having real sex?
Because
why
that's
would
what
you
they call
say
it in the
unsimulated?
industry.
Yeah.
We're not in the industry.
Wait, so
Allow
they've
me
been,
to
so we've already had like real sex on screen before.
And actually now, Trini reminds me, have you seen Caligula?
No, but we've talked about it twice now.
Yeah.
Caligula.
In Facebook, we put it in bed
At
now.
the time, it was a professional art film. There's 2, maybe 3 Academy Award winners in that movie. And it got an X rating because at the time, I think it was in the 1970s, maybe the 1980s, I'm not sure.
That makes sense.
And there was a fisting scene in it, and it was a real scene that was done.
That's
gonna
when
watch that
HR
tonight.
came in, and
You would be
all
proud.
the things that we like.
You would be proud of it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. But I want to know like
Is your-
what's
is
down,
your
down.
fiancé in town?
Is Crystal here?
yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I'm very horny. But I want to know what's gonna happen to his career. Now-
So you're over him
He's
trying to
go
ruin your
down, down,
festival.
down, and this dude
Oh,
went left.
no, I was never that mad because I'm gonna have sex first and then we'll talk about it later. But
He's got his priorities on point.
But I was just
Right.
I'm more concerned about Jordan's career. Like, when you have these kind of scenarios happen, you get blacklisted or you get typecasted, and I wonder what is gonna happen thereafter.
Anybody agree with that?
But so
I think
might
it'll
be in trouble.
It'll up his.
I was going to say my first
No,
reaction was,
absolutely.
whoop, it's going
And
to
so-
But like, was he
We spoke
popular
about this.
before this? Because I've never heard of
Exactly.
this man in my
So-
life.
Yeah.
Until now.
So he said in the interview that how he always wanted to do this kind of genre. He always wanted to kind of.
You wanted to do Down, Down, Down?
He wanted to do a play on the industry, and so this was his goal. And so when he met someone who was on the same line of thinking, it was a perfect match. And so I think it will only up his thing because they also talk about how normalizing cocks. We all got one. 20%.
Yeah,
they
no,
go
but
larger
there's
than
a
others.
difference with normalizing nudity and actually blowing a dick on
But
TV.
normalizing that whole thing, cocks
Yeah.
and cocks and cocks. And that was his thing.
Wow.
And so he got what I got from it was he got a little like built up from making fun of.
He got hard.
He got in my head. When he was dressed in purple gloves, I was a little concerned about that piece. Like, what is this thing is going on there? What is he hiding?
That's the fisting part.
It's the fisting part. But I think that it's only going to up his ante. I truly believe
okay.
it.
And one step further of that, of course, this titillates the gay community, gay men, of course.
Not titties, titillates.
I heard
and the
titties. I was like, yeah.
conversation,
I was like, I'm there, down, down, down.
but let's talk about women. Women have been involved in sexual situation in film forever.
Right.
In terms of all kinds of things, with their breasts, with their vaginas, forever, in terms of being so much more out there because male, predominantly straight directors, producers, film studios
Straight,
are
white,
straight.
privileged,
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so all that's happening here is this is beginning to catch
Yes.
up a little.
Yeah, but can we blame it, right? Like, there's something beautiful about a woman, and then there's a bush, and you don't see the inside of a vagina. A dick is out, a dick is there. There's no hiding a dick. So there's a lot of
That's true.
There's a lot of things that you can play on with.
Did
Gross.
you
Hair, gross. Never, ever.
That's
Sorry.
not the
Wait.
point.
I'm sorry.
Faye.
That's the only
They
thing.
don't show
I'm just
women's
imagining a
lit-
vagina with
right,
all this hair
yeah,
now, and I just
exactly.
can't get that thought of my mind.
But it's still beautiful.
Did you? I know you're not, but let me call it out.
Mm-hmm.
We think women in visual sexual intercourse is more beautiful than men.
It's
we
just that
think
it's not
'Cause that's what I heard you
explicit.
just say.
Yeah,
I think I am definitely attracted to men. But if I'm looking at a penis and I'm looking at a vagina standing up, let's say we're standing up, there's something way more appealing a vagina.
Do you think most gay men think that?
Is it soft or hard?
soft.
Well,
Because
let's
I
do it both
they're
ways.
not, I don't think that they're honestly that attractive. So
I
think,
don't
but
either.
think of the testicles
Ready
as
for
well,
action?
though.
Yeah,
We're talking
but
about
penises
like
are not good looking either. It's fucking wrinkled things with two balls underneath.
it's
Ugh.
weird,
wait,
right?
wait, wait. I just can't
I'm
fit this
shocked. This has
inside,
gone
so-
someplace that I'm absolutely shocked about. Because at the end
Are you
of
really
the
that
day, I am.
Did you
We're
look in the mirror?
saying that we don't think erect penis male is beautiful to look at. That's where
I don't
we're
think it's
landing
the
this.
beautiful. I think it's that it's the
No, they were
explicitness
talking about
of it.
plastic.
What?
Because if you see an erect penis, that's definitely a sexually aroused person. Whereas a woman who just has like something that you can't see.
You can't tell.
It's like
can't,
changing in a
whether
locker
they're-
room.
right.
It's a different context.
Faye and I went with Sunshine Cathedral last April
To the locker room?
to Italy, and we went in Vatican Museum, but we went everywhere.
Sure.
Michelangelo immortalized male image
David.
of the and beyond the David. So many statues, portrait, so much erotic art that
Small penises
Michelangelo.
everywhere.
Is it
Small
erotic
penises
though?
everywhere.
Is it erotic? It's not erotic.
It's not erotic, and so I
Arts.
do
Arts.
think
Yeah.
I do think the
it's
male
like
body
soft.
and the female body is beautiful as both, and I don't think it's erotic because it was not necessarily hard. It's not going in for penetration
dripping
or
wet,
dripping, or, just,
or
or
like-
even just dripping. Period.
yeah.
You know, the things that happen when you get excited. It's just a matter of just being who you are, being that body beautiful, shedding off all the clothes, the things that hold you still, and allow you to be free. That's what makes it beautiful, whether it's a woman or it's a man.
But Alan, I do think that a lot of the shyness around dick is also mainly like an American thing.
Yeah.
You're watching TV in Europe, there's bouncing dicks everywhere and on beach scenes.
They have a
and
show.
that's
They have a
really
show
just us.
in London. They
Oh,
have a show.
Like the dating show?
Yes,
Where you date
literally-
by their junk?
You can't. Right. They're in a cylindrical thing, and this like visor starts to come up, and you start like eliminating them based on their genitals.
All you
As
can
they
see.
come up, you're like, no, I don't like that dick. Take them out. I don't like her knees. Take it out. I don't like the hair
What's the
on their
name of
tummy. I can't remember now.
I love
It's
it.
like
Brittany's gonna
it's
binge
something
watch that
naked.
show
It's
tonight.
like
You're
something
sure you're
naked.
not confusing that with your bedroom?
No, because
No.
we are very much entertained with our genitals.
Do you? Last question before we move on. In relation to what we've just talked about in terms of the male form, in terms of being what we think about it versus female form, do you think most gay men would agree with the observations you made? Do you think most of our
gay men.
community would agree with you?
That what agree without
Which
what?
one? Which part?
Of the idea that the male form is not as pretty.
Oh no, they would disagree. They would completely disagree. If you, when you mention a vagina to a man, it's
No,
most
but you're
gay men.
talking.
It's
No,
like,
but
you
we're
know.
talking about it visually appealing versus actually putting it in your
Well,
mouth.
right.
Let's just do a study right here.
Yeah.
Do you find it more appealing than a man's just soft?
So I think that, so if I had to choose between one, I would choose the man before the woman. I think both are beautiful, but I would choose
Sexually, or just if you had it on a piece of paper?
Just
in a
looking. Just looking.
Okay.
Just looking.
How about you?
I would be kind of gender neutral. I'd have to see them both side by side, and I can pick. But generally, I think that the female form is a little prettier.
Yeah, same.
I think the male form is
Like a
for
flower.
me is more is
No, stop with the flower thing. The flower and the vagina
Like a flower.
have nothing to do with each other. Like a flower is way prettier
it's
than a
more
vagina.
beautiful.
Oh,
but
my
I also
goodness.
think that your proclivity to like top and bottoming also like is part of that, because for me a penis is not very. I don't really care about the penis, but like the cakes. Like that's definitely
So we
like
got
much
that, but
more.
I'm totally-
but
we're
the
talking about
vagina, yeah, I think that the vagina is probably a little bit more
Because
beautiful.
it's closer to the case
Yeah.
than it is to the penis. Got it.
Yeah.
So there's your study, Alex.
There's your study,
I know
Al.
you're surprised,
I
baby,
know.
but
I am surprised. The Rotting in the Sun, Sebastian Silva and Jordan Firstman, premiered at Sundance a couple of weeks ago. Check it out.
Down, down, down.
Down, down, down.
Hashtag.
Exactly. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.